Dear students, most of you had asked for a video session on how to solve the jigs and fixture problems. So I am going to take video sessions for solving the problem, but before solving the problem we should know the procedure to be followed for designing a work holder. So in the first session I am going to explain the procedure. Before designing a work holder, we should know some basic knowledge about the work holders. That is, for example, what are the different types of jigs or fixtures available, and then basic principles of locating and clamping. Why should we know about the different types of jigs and fixtures? In case of jigs, we will select the jigs based upon the type of component. If we don't know what are the types of jigs available, we cannot select a proper jig. So we should have the idea of which type of jig will go for which component. And then fixtures, in case of fixtures we are classifying the fixtures based upon the operation, which type of operation, whether it is for turning operation or milling operation. So for each operation the type of forces acting on the work holder differs. So we should have some basic knowledge about the different types of jigs and fixtures. And then the principles of locating and clamping. It is very important, because if we don't know the basic principles, we won't know where should we keep the locators and clamps on the workpiece so that the degrees of freedom is completely arrested. We cannot keep locators and clamps anywhere we like. We have to follow some principles so that they are placed in correct locations. These are the general principles, general steps to be followed while designing a work holder. First is, we have to find a suitable locator and we have to place the locator in correct places. That is the first step. We have to locate the workpiece. After locating, we have to clamp the workpiece. We know the difference between locating and clamping. Major degrees of freedom will be arrested in locating. After that, the remaining degrees of freedom will be arrested by providing clamps. And then we have to give proper supports. Supporting systems are some complementary systems along with locators. In some cases locators will not be sufficient. We will see about this later. And then tool guidance. We know the difference between jig and fixture, right? In case of jig, tool guidance is provided with the help of drill bushes. In some cases, like milling fixture, the tool guidance, tool referencing will be given with the help of setting blocks. That is also we will see in the future. And finally, we have to give the whole picture. That is the drawing of the whole work holder we have designed, whether it is jig or fixture. The drawing is the final step. This drawing of the final step will have the framework, that is the jig body or fixture body, which will house all the previously designed elements, that is the locators, clamps, supports. Everything will be fixed into a framework which gives the total structure of the work holder. Based upon the above guidelines, you should create a rough sketch with the locators, clamps and the framework. You can improve on the design. If you find it not sufficient for some locators and clamps, you can change the locators and you can change the design. You can continuously improve. And finally you have to arrive upon a final design. For exam point of view, you have to give a proper theory for the design procedure. Whatever you have followed in the design procedure, you can develop a theory and you should present it neatly for exams. As discussed, the first and foremost step is the locating of workpiece. We know locating is the most important thing, because it is in locating only we are arresting the degrees of freedom, the major degrees of freedom. The purpose of work holder is to arrest the degrees of freedom while performing the operation, right? So the major degrees of freedom, that is the degrees of freedom that may arise due to the manufacturing operation, that will be arrested with the help of locators. While designing, we take into consideration only the direction of forces while designing the work holder. We are not considering the magnitude of force. Like in drilling, the direction of force will be coming from top to bottom, right? We will only consider from which direction to which direction the force is acting, not how much force is acting. We are not considering the drilling force applied from the spindle of the driller. We are considering only the direction of forces, right? How we can select how we can form the location, right? We have already seen these principles in principles of locating and clamping. We are seeing it again. So the first choice where you should place a locator is directly against the direction of the force. In case of drilling, like this, the drilling force will be coming from top, right? So where should we keep the locator? The locator should withstand the cutting force. In case of drilling, it will come from top to bottom, so the locator will be placed against the drilling force. So it will be kept at the bottom, right? And then the shape and form of locator, which type of locator you should select is based upon the type of workpiece, right? Here the given workpiece, the example is a rectangular block, right? So for this type of locator, you can choose these pin type locators, or a flat surface locator is also fine. This picture is taken from 3-to-1 principle, so I am just keeping it as pin type locators. For example, if you are given with the cylindrical workpiece, which type of locator you will select? Usually for cylindrical workpieces you will select V-type locators, right? So based upon the shape and form of the locators, shape and form of the component, you will select the locator, and you will place the locator directly against the direction of the force. And then clamping. In locating, you will arrest the degrees of freedom pertaining to the direction of force of the cutting forces, right? In clamps, the other degrees of freedom will be arrested. These clamps hold down the workpiece while the operation is performed. In practice, they are applied by using bolts, straps, the various clamping devices. With those clamping devices, you will hold down the workpiece when the manufacturing operation is performed. Where should you apply the clamps? From the principles of clamping, you will know, you will keep the clamps always against the locator. Because why you will use like that? Can you place clamp anywhere you like? Usually you will arrange the clamp directly against the locator. In case of this, where will you place the clamp? You will be clamping from the top, right? You will be clamping the workpiece against the locator, because the locators are giving the positive stop. It will not yield, right? If you clamp the workpiece from this sideways, is there any positive stop here? No. If you apply clamping force here, the workpiece will move from this direction to this direction. So always you will apply the clamping force against the locators. So in this case you will place the clamp from the top. So you will always place the clamp against the locator. And another thing is, the clamping force must be applied without causing any elastic deformation, because the clamping is not for holding the workpiece against the cutting forces. That is done by the locator. Against the cutting forces, the workpiece is supported with the help of locators, not the clamps. The clamping force is just for holding the workpiece while performing the operation. So it should not be high enough to make any deformation on the workpiece, and it must be sufficient to hold the workpiece in its place while performing the operation. And then supporting. As I said earlier, supporting complements the locating. Sometimes the locating points are not sufficient to absorb all the loads acting without causing any elastic deformation. Take this example here. It is a cylindrical component. If you are going to drill here, this long shaft is overhanging. So if you apply only locator here, this surface will become loaded and it may deform. So in that case you will give additional supports here, right? So in such cases, locators are provide sufficient support to ensure the geometrical stability of the part. Supports are not always present, but in some cases where the locators are not sufficient to withstand all the load, you will give supports. The support should be sufficient in number and strength to absorb all the acting loads. Then some suggestions for giving the supports. The supports you will use should not interfere with the locating points, and then it should not interfere with loading and unloading. Clamps also have this principle. Clamps are only used to load and unload, right? The clamp should not interfere with the cutting tool. Likewise, these supports should not interfere with loading and unloading. And these supporting system should not produce any geometrical redundancy. You should know what is redundancy, right? Redundant location principle you should have known. Providing additional extra locators where you have already arrested the degrees of freedom, that is redundancy. Likewise, you should not provide any additional supports like redundant locators. And then tool guidance. In case of drill jigs, it is very easier. Wherever the hole you are going to drill, you will keep a drill bush above the hole. That is the tool guidance. Through the drill bush only the drilling tool will enter. In case of fixtures, you will use some referencing tools like setting blocks. Here in this string milling fixture, this one is the setting block. It is purely given for giving reference. When the milling cutter coming from here, it should be this is the depth of cut. For that much depth of cut, you have given reference using this setting block. The setting block will be set such that the milling cutter just touches the setting block, and then it will move and cut away the required depth of cut in these workpieces. So this is tool guidance feature. And finally, so far what we have seen, first for a given component you have to give proper locatings, and then you have to give clamping, and then if support is needed you have to provide that, and then tool guidance. and finally you have to get the whole picture, that is the whole work folder. You have to draw the whole framework, that is the jig or fixture that carries all the individual elements like locators and clamps. This jig body or fixture body should have enough strength and rigidity to hold them means hold the locators and clamps in proper places under load. While designing this jig or fixture, you should have these points in mind. First, the jig or fixture body must accommodate the component, and then as we discussed earlier, we should select the jig based upon the form and shape of the component, right? So the proper jig will accommodate the given component, and then this jig body should have proper clearance for loading and unloading. If there is not enough clearance, loading and unloading will become difficult, because the component may stuck inside the jig, and unloading the component becomes cumbersome. So you should provide enough clearance for loading and unloading. And then clearance for chips. For chip removal, what will happen if chips are getting stuck in the work holder? We have already discussed, right? If chips are getting accumulated in the work holder, it will affect the accuracy of the job. So we should avoid these chips by providing clearance. And then the jig or fixture should have feet or some other supporting surface to place it on the machine table. If there is no feet or supporting surfaces, the work holder may tilt while performing the operation, which will result in inaccurate jobs. So it should have some proper supporting surfaces or feet. And then the locating elements for aligning it with the machine table, that is the work holder will be fixed on the machine table, right? For locating that work holder, we should have some locating elements. So you should keep in mind all these points while doing the final step, that is the jig or fixture body, that is the framework of the work holder, which will house the previously designed elements, the locators and clamps. So for designing a jig or fixture, these are the steps to be followed. First you will design a locator, and then clamp, and then supporting elements if needed. Tool guidance, it is not much of a big step, since in jigs only you will provide tool guidance in the form of drill bush. And then final step is drawing the whole picture of the work holder. Okay, we will look at a problem in the next session.